wondering, you know, was that the art of the deal? Was that it? Because it seemed like he didn't actually know what his position was or what any of the, he didn't seem to know jack booty.
So immigration is obviously a big issue for everyone, but it's a particularly big issue in this last election cycle because Trump ran on the hardest, Mexicans are murderers and rapists, build the wall, kick them out, we're going to deport everyone. And then yesterday, I was so confused. I was still here because we post-taped, and I was watching it in my dressing room, and I was literally reacting, and I was like, did he just say that he's for a clean DACA bill with Dianne Feinstein? And Kevin McCarthy is jumping in and saying, wait, that's not our platform. and it's really confusing. This will get his base to mutiny.
Ann Coulter is all over
Can we throw to this clip? We have to throw to this clip of Ann Coulter.
This is a disaster. It was the lowest day of his presidency. But it seems as if Trump thinks he's going to get all this great press by giving the left everything they want. I promise you, he's not going to get good press from this. They're still going to say he has dementia. If anything, they have more arguments now with him jumping around and abandoning his base.
It wasn't just her. Tucker Carlson went crazy last night as well, saying what was the point of even running during this election?
That's what we kept asking. What are you doing? Why are you doing this?
But I think what was odd was I think he did this to show us that he is a stable genius and that there is no problem and there's no dementia and the 25th Amendment is off the table. But like Ann Coulter said, I thought, oh man, he's really having some problems here. And I thought, if you're running on the platform that he ran on, how is that a bill of love?
But also, Democrats should be happy. He just basically agreed to what he wants. Comprehensive immigration reform, which, as you and I know, Anna, was called, where Lindsey Graham was called Lindsey Jose, like very race-based nicknames, because of your stance on immigration. And all of a sudden, you're what, a moderate like me?
What I don't get is he's talking about love, and yet 200,000 Salvadorans are being kicked out of the country.
Yeah, they don't feel the love.
It's really kind of weird that he's talking about love.
That's temporary protective status. This is Dreamers. Look, I'll tell you this.
Go ahead.
I travel all over the country.
You feel there's a big difference there?
There is a big difference in the eyes of many people because Dreamers are kids that were born, kids that were brought here through no fault of their own by their adult parents. So there's this feeling of compassion of let's not penalize children for the action of their parents, and we recognize.
Why did the Salvadorans come here?
They were already here, and then they got this protective status because of the earthquake. So it was also a compassionate move. But I mean, there's a difference between how one is treated and one is viewed. Look, I travel around the country. I speak in a lot of universities. I've had to hug a lot of Dreamers. I've had to dry their tears. I've had to tell them that it's okay. To me, yesterday, when he said this, as surreal as it was, as weird as it was, when he said, look, you go and you do it and you bring it back to me and I'll sign it, I thought they should have said, okay, goodbye, we'll see you next week with a bill. They should have just left the building.
You know what?
There's also a deadline.
Well, Lindsey Graham wanted it. Besides the Democrats, Lindsey wanted it also.
So do a lot of Republicans. So did Jeff Flake. So did my father.
But I remember Bush, the last Bush, was also one who wanted a comprehensive and really put one forth, and the Republicans said, no. But here's what's great. You just asked a great question, you saying, Democrats should be happy. Well, we'd like to be happy, but because the guy in office has a trigger shift, that we're good today, and we say, well, he did something great. Tomorrow he'll be like, I never said that.
That's right.
That's fake news. And you will show him saying, come on, y'all, come on in. And he will say, I never said so. That's why nobody is sort of
That's why Congress has got to do what they've lost the art of doing. In Washington, the C word is completely different. It means compromise. And they've got to legislate. They've got to compromise. The left has got to give. The right has got to give.
They got to grow up.
There are millions of kids with their future in limbo waiting for this law. We need Congress to act and do it quickly before he changes his mind.
The politics of this is very tricky, as you say.
Why do you say that?
The politics of this is very tricky. This was an immigration and a jobs election. I truly believe those are the two platforms that he ran on. He will completely alienate his base. Again, we just showed Ann Coulter. Watch Tucker Carlson's clip. The base is going absolutely blank right now because, again, if you ran and won on Build the Wall, deport everyone, that Mexicans are rapists and criminals, and all of a sudden you're saying a bill of love, which was Jeb Bush was made fun of for saying during the election, by the way, your guy that you love. He was made fun of for saying that.
Trump made fun of him.
Trump did, and he was, and conservative commentators and conservative media made fun of him. So all of a sudden, the fascinating part of Trump is if he can sell this, if he can sell DACA, if he can sell comprehensive immigration reform, then he really just is the cult of personality. If his base still supports it because it's him, because he will be abandoning the ideals that he espoused.
It's a win for the administration,
Put something in front of him, folks. Put something in front of him.
He wants
no
to
time
win,
to waste.
and that's a win for the
really
administration.
What it is. He just wants to win. He doesn't care how. He doesn't care what it takes. Will the Russians help me? Will these go? Whoever will help me win, so I can say I'm a winner. But that's what he wants to do. In this case, I hope that they are fast enough to get this through so we don't have to worry about these kids anymore.
March 5th deadline.
Well, it's February. It's February. It's all about the base.
I mean, pull up the popcorn and beer going forward if he does pass this, because I think there's going to be...
Once that base goes down,
I'm going to pull out the whiskey and champagne. Forget popcorn and beer. I'm going expensive if he passes this.
You're so fancy,
I'm playing his bass. We'll be right back.